We're live. Hello, hello. It's Thursday, July 3rd. It's the day before the Independence Day holiday in the US. Thanks for joining me here today live. I'm super excited to talk about this particular topic, which is about your message. So, welcome to today's power session, the messaging mistake that's costing you conversions and what to say instead. If you're new to me, hello, I'm Sherry Otto, and I'm the founder of the Growth Lane Strategies B2B consultancy, which supports lean teams on their full funnel strategies. And today we're going to be talking about your message. I'm based out of the Carolinas. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Where are you sharing, joining me from? Where are you located? Where are you based? And if you've got your hot beverage, I've got my tea today. This is kind of like this calming tea, which is nice. So cheers to you guys. And it's going to be a casual but impactful and powerful session today about your marketing messages. And what I want to share is that you should stay tuned until the end. I'm going to give you a quick update on a really exciting tool that you can use to improve your B2B email copy. And that tool is basically kind of compiling my insights and my thoughts and all the IP coming from being a leader in demand automation at HubSpot. I'm going to put that in a tool for us. It's going to help us improve our email copy. So stay tuned for really exciting update on that one. Refreshing on this other computer here as we are live. Okay, so I want to make sure that we're all dialed in here, and also let you know that I think feedback is a gift. So if at any point you have something that comes up for you that resonates or it sticks with you, go ahead and drop an aha in the chat, in the comments. Aha, AHA, let me know. It's kind of a signal for me. And then, quite frankly, I use that as a part of my marketing messages and understand how my audience is really relating to this type of content and whether or not we should double down on it, things like that. And I've gotten a lot of feedback this week. So one person DM'd me a message about the newsletter that went out on Tuesday. So we got a weekly newsletter, and he was saying how much he really enjoyed all the tips in there. And then it's funny because I actually pulled out my phone and I started filming a lesson, because how many of us know that you can actually turn a compliment into a testimony with some easy transitional phrases? That's super exciting, and I wanted to share that. So that's going to be an upcoming lesson as well. And then another piece of feedback, we got a question about cold leads. So how do you engage and nurture folks who are cold and say sort of no, but yet there's still perhaps potential to work together in the future? What does that nurture process look like? There is a 90-second video on the profile. Feel free to check that out. And next week, we're going to be talking about cold leads. And we're going to be sharing what to do, how to nurture and re-engage cold leads. And that is going to be on Thursdays live next week. So be sure to sign up for that as well. Let me see if I can see the comments here. Let me go over here. Oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. So the links are being dropped. Yes. Hi, everybody. Hey, Troy from Las Vegas. Hey, everyone, come on in. And so excited about what's going to be going down next week about cold leads. And then if you have any questions at any time, feel free to drop them in. I'm happy to try to look at the comments and kind of answer questions on the fly. And so, yeah, let's get into it. Some folks do want the slides. So at any point you are like, this is so good, I want the slides, then definitely register for the webinar or the mini webinar here. And you'll be able to get the slides for like this one or for the cold leads one. Those links are in the comments for us. All right, so let me ask you, imagine this. You spend days, sometimes weeks, perfecting an email campaign. The subject line is polished. The design is really clean, kind of like this slide here. The offer seems to be what your audience said that they needed. And then when you launch it, it doesn't perform. You got low open rates, you got few clicks, and silence on the other end. Okay, so here's what no one tells you. Your marketing isn't underperforming because your contacts are not interested. It's underperforming because your message never made it past the filter and through the noise. And the real problem, most of what we've been taught to say is exactly what everyone else is saying too. And that's what I want to kind of shift for us today. So who here prefers to differentiate your message across channels? Drop a yes in the comments if that's you now or in the replay. So a founder that I worked with once told me, our products help everyone, but nobody seems to understand what really makes us different. So I pulled up their homepage, and you know what it said? Here's what it said. In today's digital era, businesses need flexible, scalable, secure solutions. Dude, did anyone else get bored just now? Yeah. Troy says also people need a little volume in numbers. Yes, absolutely. But look at this sort of like tagline on the website. Like it sounds so generic. And by the way, there's a difference between sounding generic and being relatable to your audience. There's a difference between sounding generic and being relatable to your audience. Let me give you an example. These two posts that you see here both surpass 1 million impressions here on LinkedIn. Both are approaching 90,000 video views. In fact, they're probably more since the time of this slide was created. Why? I think Troy says that AI is a terrible speaker. Yeah. So why are these particular posts more resonating with more people? It's because it can relate. So it's relatable. If you look at the caption on the first one, want to succeed at work? Who doesn't want to succeed at work? So this first post that I posted, I blurted out my thoughts. I came out of a meeting that was kind of difficult for me to navigate. I was feeling a different emotions, and I just started speaking on a voice note. And then I literally stopped my thoughts. I was just blurting things out, and then I started recording. And then I literally said, okay, now I'm going to pause this video, and I'm going to go over to ChatGPT to clean up my thoughts and format it so I can finish this video. And I literally say that in the video. It's because I'm being so raw and authentic with who I am, and that then resonates and translates to, nearly 100,000 video views. Okay. Same thing with the other one. If content always feels like a grind, that second one with the yellow dress. How many of us feel like, yes, content creation is a grind? Like, I gotta make more content and I gotta put it on these platforms. So people relate to that. When you're relatable, people are drawn into you. And again, it's indicative of these metrics here that you see on the screen. So side note, the people who don't relate to you, they're not your people. They're not. Okay. Drop an aha if that resonated with you. So that's the messaging mistake that we're making. Trying to sound professional and polished by stripping away all of the specificity and the soul of your message. You need to get in there, you need to have an opinion, you need to take a stand, and you just need to be raw. Like that video that I showed, I was just like, I'm just gonna talk, and I don't even know if I'm making sense, but I'm gonna share who I am because people connect with people. People do business with people. And if I'm feeling a certain kind of way, maybe they've been there as well. Now we can connect. And now there's an open door for me to then share more about my product, service, and offers. Does that make sense? So I asked the founder, I said, hey, what's the actual pain the customer wakes up with every single day? And they said, they're wasting hours manually reconciling reports across 8 different tools just to get basic insights. Troy says, aha. Yes. I just want to read that again. They're wasting hours manually reconciling reports across 8 different tools just to get the basic insights. How many of us know that that's the marketing, not this other stuff? That's the message, guys. The pain, the urgency, the clarity, not optimize your data visibility at scale. Everybody's doing that. I don't want you to be like everyone else. I want you to be different. Okay. So you're being vague, and we need to move away from that. You're being like everyone else. So say what you mean, because vague and polished does not convert. So here's how I think about it. Let's go to the airport together. Okay. Your message is that baggage claim. When it's clear and unique and well marked, your buyer grabs it immediately. When it looks like everyone else's generic black bag, it gets passed over. Or worse, it gets lost entirely. How many of us been there? Most brands, they're putting most of their best messages inside of those unmarked luggages, inside of the unmarked luggage. It's going to get lost. And then they're wondering why their message never made it to the buyer's hands. So let me walk you through the clear is greater than clever method. It's a 3-part message lens that is going to help you clarify your message by allowing you to speak to the buyer's needs and pain points using their native language. Present one big problem, not 5 at once, and then position the reader as the main character. Too many of us are using, I want to announce this. We have something great to share, all about me. No, we're going to change company-centric to customer-centric and make your reader the main character. Does that make sense? So we want to speak the buyer's language, just like that example of like what the real pain point was. We're going to use that. No buzzwords, no generic AI fluff, cut it out. Think about it like this. Use phrases that buyers would actually use in like a Slack channel. So if they're saying our ops are stuck in spreadsheets, then don't go out and say, well, we're going to help you with your manual inefficiencies. Just use their language. Use the words of your audience. That's your marketing. Present one big problem, not 5 at once. We actually were talking about this earlier this week about how many CTAs should you put in an email. We want to have focus and clarity, especially in the beginning. So if you're top of funnel, your people are newer to you, just give them one thing to focus on. Stop trying to feed everything at once, fit everything into one message, one landing page, one email. Okay? Buyers don't need a sharp edge. Buyers need a sharp edge to hold on to. Make it obvious, make it sting, and show the relief. All right, so you want to position the reader as the main character. Too many brands are putting themselves in that spot. So your job is to guide them and to support them. I call this partner in their pursuit. Understand what they're trying to accomplish and then guide them to the next step. You're the guide, they're the hero. So we want to shift from we help companies scale to struggling to scale. Here's a simple fix. Beautiful. So you've seen today how vague copycat messaging kills conversions and how you've got to be able to see the clear is greater than clever method so that you can start fixing and aligning and use this as a reference when you're creating copy and content. Is it clear? Is it using the native language? Are buyers able to understand that they're the hero in the story? And are you really giving them one big problem versus all these different things to think about? Okay, just use that as your checklist as you're going through your copy. So clear messaging is just a start, but it won't generate leads unless your entire funnel knows how to deliver the right message to the right person at the right moment. So in other words, clarity without timing and strategy still leaves dollars on the table. And if that's the case, that's exactly why we're teaching the full training on this. Turn signals into pipeline without rebuilding your funnel. Because we want you to be able to put these pieces that we're sharing in these trainings into an entire system so that it translates into pipeline dollars without starting from scratch, without trying to chase cold leads, but how does it work together in a system? How does your clear message now translate into book demos? Yes? If you want that training, go ahead and get the link. This is the link right here. It's also in the comments. Sign up for the large training, the full training that's going to help you understand the workflow processes that you need, how to build upon the clarity that we started here today, and take that clarity now that you have it and turn it into conversions. All right, so next week, everyone, we're going to be talking about your cold leads, how to re-engage dormant leads, and how to nurture cold leads who might not be ready now, but we're probably going to be ready in a little bit if you do these few simple steps. I'll be here next week at the same time. If you want the slides, go ahead and register for the slides. That link is there below as well. And I will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye-bye.